Angela stands frozen for a moment, the sting of Whitman's words hitting her harder than she expected. She grips the folder tighter, but doesn't let her anger show. The room feels suddenly colder, the whispering voices of the onlookers too loud in her ears. Angela, softly but firmly. "Excuse me, sir. I don't think you understand. I came here for a professional matter, and I expect to be treated as such." Whitman turns around, raising an eyebrow, clearly annoyed by the interruption. Whitman, smirking. "I told you, we don't have time for people like you wasting mine. Maybe try a smaller bank, one that deals with your type of clients." The few customers watching exchange uncomfortable glances. Angela's hands shake, but she steadies herself. "Angela, you don't know anything about me, my business, my plans, or what I've worked for." She turns on her heel and walks out of the bank, her dignity intact despite the humiliation. She steps outside into the brisk air, trying to collect herself. She has faced challenges her entire life. This one wouldn't be any different. But the injustice stings more than usual. Angela walks down the street, determination setting in. She knows what she has to do next. As she reaches her car, she dials a number. Angela, to herself. "I'll make sure Whitman and his bank regret this." The next morning, Angela dresses carefully in a professional suit, an outward expression of her inner resolve. She makes her way to the office, her steps steady, her mind focused. She feels the weight of her mission, but also a quiet sense of justice beginning to swell inside her. The bank building looms ahead, its glass windows reflecting the early morning light. As Angela approaches, she spots Jerome waiting by his car, looking sharp in his lawyer's suit. He nods at her, a silent acknowledgement of the plan they've put into motion. Jerome, with a smile. "You sure about this?" Angela gives a tight smile, adjusting her jacket. Angela, "It's not just about me anymore. It's about everyone else who's ever been made to feel less than because of people like him." They walk into the bank together, Angela leading the way with a quiet strength. As they enter the lobby, the receptionist looks up, immediately recognizing her. The tension is palpable. Receptionist, nervously. "Oh, good morning, Ms. Carter. How can I assist you today?" Angela sets the folder down on the desk with authority. Angela, "I'm here to see Mr. Whitman, and I believe I need to speak to him about the business loan I requested yesterday." The receptionist fumbles slightly, clearly uncomfortable. She picks up the phone to call for Whitman, but Angela cuts her off. Angela, calmly, "No need. I'll wait." They sit, the clock ticking louder with every passing moment. Jerome scans the room, noticing the subtle glances the other customers cast their way. Angela focuses on her breathing, silently reinforcing her purpose. Moments later, the door to the back office swings open, and Whitman emerges, his usual smirk plastered on his face. But as his eyes land on Angela and Jerome, the confidence starts to fade. He stops in his tracks. Whitman, with a forced smile, "Ms. Carter, I didn't expect you back so soon, and you've brought—" Jerome stands up, extending a hand. "Jerome Walker. I'm here to assist Ms. Carter with this matter." Whitman's smile tightens, and he looks between them. The tension in the room becomes thick, a palpable shift that has caught the attention of every customer and employee within the bank. Angela, without hesitation. "Mr. Whitman, you may remember that yesterday you chose to belittle me, to treat me as if I were unworthy. I'm here today to ensure you understand the consequences of your actions." Whitman's eyes flicker nervously. Whitman, nervously. Miss Carter, I didn't mean to." Angela raises her hand, silencing him. Angela, "Mr. Whitman, I'm here to let you know that I've contacted my lawyer. I will be filing a formal complaint against you for discriminatory practices and harassment. I've also alerted the bank's higher-ups about your behavior. I suggest you prepare for the consequences of your actions." The receptionist freezes, her eyes wide in shock. The air is thick with anticipation. Jerome, coldly, This is a serious matter, Mr. Whitman. Discrimination in hiring and customer service is illegal. You don't have the privilege to treat people however you please. Angela steps forward, placing the paperwork neatly on the counter. Angela, I will not allow anyone to make a mockery of my efforts, my hard work, or my dignity. And you've just seen how far I'm willing to go to make sure this doesn't happen to anyone else. The words hang in the air as the tension builds. Whitman stammers, looking around at the growing number of employees and customers who are now intently watching the situation unfold. The realization dawns on him. Whitman, flustered. I didn't know you were. I didn't mean to. Angela, shaking her head. Your words don't matter now, Mr. Whitman. The only thing that matters is the action that will follow. Jerome stands tall beside her, his presence adding weight to her words. Jerome, you should have thought before you spoke, Mr. Whitman. Now, your actions will have consequences. A silence falls over the room. The weight of Angela's words lands heavily on everyone present. Whitman, looking defeated, takes a step back. Whitman, meekly. I'll look into it. Angela smiles, the faintest hint of satisfaction in her expression. Angela. I'm sure you will, but just know that it's not just about me anymore. It's about setting a precedent for how you treat others. With that, Angela and Jerome turn to leave. As they walk past the stunned customers, whispers begin to spread, but Angela doesn't look back. Her mission is complete, and her resolve has made an indelible mark. Final scene. As Angela steps outside the bank, the air feels different, lighter, more expansive. She knows this is just the beginning. The moment she's been waiting for has finally arrived, and her power to take control has changed everything. She walks confidently down the sidewalk, her head held high, knowing her actions will ripple outward, inspiring others who face the same kind of prejudice. Jerome catches up with her, a smile on his face. Jerome, you did it. They won't forget this. Angela, no, they won't. And that's exactly the point. The camera lingers on Angela's face as she continues walking, the future bright with the promise of justice and change. Whitman's eyes widen, his arrogant expression faltering for the first time. He stumbles backward slightly, glancing at the employees who are now watching in silence. Whitman, no, this is a misunderstanding. It wasn't like that. Jerome remains calm, his voice unwavering as he slides the folder toward Whitman. Jerome, I don't think the video footage is a misunderstanding, Mr. Whitman. I've seen it myself, and it's clear that you discriminated against Ms. Carter based on her appearance and background. The young teller, who had been silently recording everything, steps forward and hands Angela her phone. Angela holds it up for Whitman to see, the video clearly showing him mocking and belittling her, questioning her ability to apply for a business loan simply because of her race and economic status. Whitman's face reddens with anger, but he's clearly caught. He starts to open his mouth but hesitates, unsure of what to say. Angela, firmly. You laughed at me, Mr. Whitman. You dismissed me. And you assumed that because of my background, I didn't deserve a chance. But what you didn't realize is that I've spent my whole life working harder than people like you could ever imagine. She pauses, letting the weight of her words sink in, and then turns to Jerome, who nods. Jerome, we've already filed a formal complaint with the bank's upper management. I'd suggest you prepare for an internal investigation. But if you'd like, we can take this further and bring legal action against you for discrimination and harassment. Whitman's arrogance is replaced with fear as he looks around the room, realizing that the quiet attention of the employees is no longer just curiosity. They're watching him with disdain. Whitman, nervously. This can't be happening. I didn't mean any harm. I was just joking. Angela, unimpressed, crosses her arms. Angela. Jokes don't ruin lives, Mr. Whitman. Your words and actions did. And now, you'll face the consequences. Jerome adds, his voice cutting through the room. You can try to downplay this, but we both know it's not just about one bad joke. This is a pattern of behavior that will no longer be tolerated. Whitman takes a step back, the tension thick in the air. The weight of the situation starts to settle in, and he knows deep down that he's about to lose everything. His position, his reputation, and his credibility are all on the line now. One of the customers who had witnessed the exchange earlier, a middle-aged woman, shakes her head and speaks up. Customer, sharply. I was here yesterday and I saw it all. You treated that woman with so much disrespect. You don't deserve to be working here. The words sting, and Whitman stands there in silence, looking more and more isolated. His arrogance is gone, replaced by the bitter realization that he's on the wrong side of this fight. Angela, smiling with resolve. Mr. Whitman, I'm not here to beg for your approval or your apology. I'm here to ensure that no one else has to suffer from the kind of treatment you think is acceptable. And I'm going to make sure you understand that there are consequences to your actions. Jerome steps forward again, offering Whitman a firm handshake, but his tone is cold. Jerome, you've got a choice now, Mr. Whitman. You can either handle this with dignity, or we can go public with the evidence we have. The choice is yours. Whitman stands frozen, his face pale, the weight of his mistakes finally crashing down on him. For a moment, he looks as if he's going to speak, but all that comes out is a defeated sigh. Whitman, quietly. I'll handle it. Angela smiles, giving a small nod of satisfaction. She picks up her bag and turns toward the door. Angela, to the receptionist, firmly. I'll be expecting a follow-up on this matter. Thank you for your time. Jerome follows Angela out, his footsteps confident. As they step outside the bank, Angela breathes a deep sigh of relief, knowing that she's not just walked away from an unfair situation, but has paved the way for others to stand up for themselves too. Final scene. Later that day, Angela receives an email notification on her phone. She opens it, revealing an official statement from the bank's headquarters announcing an investigation into Mr. Whitman's actions and a review of the bank's policies to ensure fairness and equality. Angela smiles, reading the email. The wheels of change are in motion. Angela. Justice isn't just about winning a battle, it's about making sure the fight counts. She looks up at Jerome, who grins back at her. Jerome. And this one counts. The camera lingers on Angela's face as she walks away, her steps full of purpose and power, knowing that her actions are making a real difference. Whitman stands frozen, his face turning red with panic, as the regional manager steps into the room, his expression stern and unwavering. Regional manager, sternly. You're done here, Mr. Whitman. Your actions have cost this bank its reputation, and we won't tolerate such behavior. Whitman opens his mouth to protest, but no words come out. The reality of the situation is setting in. The regional manager's presence, combined with the official documents from Jerome, has sealed his fate. Regional manager, without hesitation. Security, please escort Mr. Whitman to the door. His services are no longer required. The security officers enter, their eyes locked on Whitman, signaling the end of his career at the bank. Whitman stumbles back, his arrogance completely gone, replaced by desperation. Whitman, pleading. Wait, you can't do this. I've been with this bank for 15 years. Regional manager. You had a choice to make, Whitman, and you chose to betray the values we stand for. Now you'll face the consequences. The regional manager turns to Angela, nodding respectfully. Regional manager, to Angela. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. You've done the right thing. Angela smiles, her heart finally beginning to settle after the chaos of the day. Angela. I just want fairness for everyone. No one should be treated the way he treated me. As security takes Whitman away, the room feels lighter. Angela watches as he is escorted out of the bank, his arrogance crumbling with each step. The customers, who had been silent spectators until now, begin to clap. The sound grows, echoing through the bank as Whitman exits, his pride shattered. A woman in line who had witnessed the entire encounter turns to Angela with a grateful smile. Woman. I'm glad you stood up to him. He deserved that. Another customer nods in agreement. Customer. Yeah, it's about time someone called out that kind of behavior. Angela feels a surge of satisfaction, knowing that her actions have not only exposed Whitman, but also sent a powerful message to the community about the importance of standing up for what's right. Jerome steps beside her, his expression one of approval. Jerome, that's what I call instant karma. Angela laughs, feeling the weight of the moment lift off her shoulders. Angela, it feels good to see justice served. As Whitman is led out the door, the bank's atmosphere changes. The tension dissipates, replaced by a sense of triumph. Angela's fight for respect has not only affected one man, but has rippled through the entire establishment. Final scene. Later that afternoon, Angela watches as the bank's management team gathers for an emergency meeting. They're discussing changes to policies, ensuring that the mistakes of the past are never repeated. The camera pulls back, showing Angela standing at the doorway, a quiet but powerful presence in the now empowered bank. She's done more than stand up for herself. She's helped make the world a better place, one bold move at a time. Angela, softly to herself. Sometimes, doing the right thing doesn't just change your life, it changes everything. The camera fades to black, leaving viewers with a sense of closure and satisfaction. The bad guy got exactly what was coming to him, and the hero walked away victorious. As Whitman is escorted out of the bank, Angela feels a surge of satisfaction. The atmosphere in the room shifts from tense to triumphant, and Angela knows that this battle is hers to claim. But she's not done yet. She steps forward, her movements purposeful. Angela, now, about that loan? The regional manager, still standing tall with authority, looks at her with newfound respect. He had witnessed the entire spectacle, and now, seeing Angela's resilience and determination, he's ready to take action. Regional manager, smiling. I'd be happy to process it personally. Angela extends her hand, and the regional manager shakes it firmly. Her eyes gleam with pride, knowing that this moment is the beginning of something far greater than just a small loan. It's the start of her dream becoming a reality. Weeks pass, and the world feels like it's aligning in Angela's favor. The process for the loan is smooth, and soon after, she's standing in front of her new bakery, a symbol of her hard work, her vision, and her perseverance. The grand opening is a success, with a large crowd gathered outside, cheering for her achievement. Angela stands in front of the bakery, scissors in hand, ready to cut the ribbon. The sign above reads, Carter's Sweet Success Bakery. She smiles, taking in the moment. It's her moment to shine. The crowd claps, and Angela's heart swells with pride. She worked tirelessly to get here, and now she's the one everyone is looking up to. As she cuts the ribbon, the applause grows louder, echoing through the street. The bakery doors open, and the smell of freshly baked goods wafts out, signaling a new beginning. Maya, the young bank teller who had witnessed Angela's struggle and victory, stands nearby, now working for her. Maya grins, clearly happy with her new job. Maya, grinning, glad I quit that bank. Angela laughs, looking at her new business, now open and thriving. She's surrounded by people who believe in her and her vision. It's all come full circle, and she's in control of her future. Angela, smiling. You're not the only one, Maya. This is just the beginning. Angela looks at her bakery once more, knowing that she fought hard for this moment. The loan, the opportunity, and the respect. She earned every bit of it. The road ahead is bright, and she knows that no one can stop her now. Final scene. As Angela walks back inside her bakery, she looks around at the warm, inviting space she's created. It's everything she envisioned and more. The success she's found here isn't just about the bakery. It's about reclaiming her power and never letting anyone tell her what she can or can't do. The camera pulls back to show the bustling street outside, the sun setting in the background. The crowd slowly disperses, but Angela stays in the center of it all, smiling, content with where she's at. Angela, to herself, quietly, I won. The screen fades to black, leaving viewers with a deep sense of satisfaction and inspiration. Angela's journey wasn't easy, but it was worth it. She's not just a survivor, she's a victor.